Yo, today is the first episode of In the Mix with DJ Linx, and I got a special guest, Gem Mint Collectibles. Stick around. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ Linx, back in the building, back in effect, and back in the mix. And I am super excited today. First episode of In the Mix. I'm gonna bring the big homie in right away. We're not even gonna waste any time. Welcome to the show, the God.
Yo, what up? What it do?
What's going on, baby? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I got episode 1.
Episode 1 is all down here from here, sir.
The guest got big shoes, man. Nah, I'm playing.
Yeah, you're not playing. You're saying the truth. I told you this backstage. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I appreciate you. For me, you're like the standard as far as the collectible game goes. You're the bar. And I even told you, yo, you probably like tired of me because legit, like I hit you up and you respond back. Like I had mad questions at the beginning of the YouTube thing, and you were gracious enough to respond back to me. And yeah, that shit, it meant a lot to me. So it's like, if I have questions, who better than to reach out to the guy that's literally been through everything? So I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man. I always try to check my DMs. I always try to check to see like somebody asking some advice or something, because I feel like I learned a thing or two along the way, but I'm still learning, man. Algorithms kicking my ass right now. I'm trying to figure out what changes they made so I could get back in the good graces. So it's a constant learning experience. And then, you know, I share info with other channels that are larger than me. Like I'm always trying to learn from them as well. So I just like to give back that way. So a couple of people have hit me up before they started, and now they have pretty, you know, decent channels going. So it's cool to see.
Damn, so I should have hit you up before I even started.
Maybe.
Yo, big shout out to my guy Steve from Burke Family 54 Comments. This is my first ever super chat.
Dang, getting money out here, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to screenshot that and put it in a frame.
There you go.
Real quick, let me just say what up to the chat. Nick's Kicks and Comics, my man, the comic vet, Ruben Guzman, Whack Comics.
A lot of familiar faces.
Yeah, I always see them in your Sunday lives.
My man King Titus in Japan.
Yeah. K Titus. Greetings from the rising sun, land of the rising sun. Cardboard Crazies, Chip Getler, new guy Ryan, Austin LeMay, who's a great dude.
Yeah.
Tapia, Painted Pages, my guy Slotted Up 503. And then we'll just check in with the chat as we keep going along.
For sure.
And dude, I did my research.
Okay.
Because I wanted this to be some hard-hitting journalism. First question I got for you. Have you even seen a vagina?
Yeah, your mama's. Yo, that's funny you remember that, man. Like people like when you start, okay, this is what I always tell people too. So it's good if you're, you know, starting a channel or whatever. It's all flowers and roses in the beginning. Everybody loves you, great video, this and that. Once you start getting the hater comments, that's when you know you're starting to break out of that like little. That's when you're leaving the nest. You're jumping out on the porch when you start to get the hater comments. So that's how you know you made it, because the algorithm is showing your stuff to people who don't know you. So when I started YouTube, I think I calmed down a lot since when I first started YouTube, man. Like people would do hater comments, and I would act like it's somebody who said it to my face. I'd be like, "Bitch, your mama," or some shit. You know, I would hit him with all that. But now I just let it go. I don't even care anymore. But
yeah, no, I started getting the hater comments. It was wild because the other day on your Sunday live chat, even before you went live, you already had mad thumbs down. So I was just like, yo, that's a sign of success.
Yeah,
so
they hate you. They can't stop looking at you though. They hate you so much, but they're really fans, man. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah, I started getting the thumbs down. Like we joke about it. Like, you know what I mean? That's you need at least one thumbs down, and that solidifies your video that your video is dope or it's on its way.
What's your DJ Linx? Who's your favorite artist?
Favorite artist of all time? Biggie.
All time. Who?
Biggie.
So what's the ultimate Biggie song? What's your go-to Biggie song?
Who Shot Ya?
Who Shot Ya? See, for me, I think it's Sky's the Limit for me, yo. But if you go to Who Shot You on YouTube right now, if you go to Sky's the Limit right now, it's gonna have mad thumbs downs.
Yeah.
How? It's fucking Biggie Who Shot You. Like, how could you have thumbs downs?
is the haters.
How it goes, man. So if Biggie ain't safe from it, who the fuck are we? You know?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny. So a while back, and this was crazy. So I had opened up a comic book mystery box, and I got a Amazing Spider-Man 361. So then, boom, in the video, I always put the last sold on eBay. So I'm like, the last one sold was $12.50, right? So then somebody hit me up in the comments. He was like, "Oh no, that wasn't the last sold on eBay. They're going for like $4.50." So
People
then I'm like,
hell, man.
I'm like, my man, go to the last solds, go to the advanced thing and hit sold, and that's what it is. One sell for $12.95, $12.50. Let's just say $1,100. So then he kept coming back. No, they're going for this, and I was just like, dude, do me a favor, link me to every single auction that they're going for that, and I'll buy them all.
Were they doing raw copies or some shit?
I don't know. It was just a dude that was hating, and it wasn't even just like a cat with the thumbnail with just the letter. Like, it was a content creator, and it's just like, yo, you're a comic book content creator and you don't know this. Like,
you know what I noticed? I noticed a lot of times people that hate are people that have channels, and you'll go there. Yeah, they don't have a lot of views or subscribers, but they don't put out a lot of content either. So it's like, dog, you're hating on me because you're not doing what I'm doing, but you just don't even work hard enough. And I hate people that aren't educated but trying to educate you. Like, how are you going to tell me? I know my shit. How are you going to tell me this is what it is or whatever, especially when it comes to some prices? Because I might not have the most comic knowledge as some people, but I know my fucking comic prices. You know what I'm saying? If I don't know shit. So
no, of course. Like, you of all people.
That's how I built this whole empire, man. You crazy?
Just want to shout out my guy Slotted Up 503 for the super chat, $5. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, grow together. Because what if I big up DJ Linx and he blows the fuck up? I'm gonna be like, yo, put me on, bro. Let me get his feature or something.
Yeah, that's what's up. Comic-Con with the $10 super chat.
How getting money today, man?
This is what's up, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming for you, son. Cardboard Crazies with the $5 super chat. It's funny because my last live, I forgot to enable the super chat function. So then today I was just like, oh shit, I gotta remember to do that. So I did it. And then I told my wife, I was just like, oh babe, could you just check the button and see, just send like $2. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I was doing my research for this and all this other stuff. I don't know if I was gonna be like, yo, let's have a sit down interview, Barbara Walter style and shit. But yo, I watched your earlier videos yesterday from when you first started, and your second video was when you were giving your room tour. Mm-hmm. Yo, I started dying laughing because you was just like, yo, I'm new to the statue game.
Yeah.
As you're sitting in a room full of statues.
but look, statue collectors know how it is. That's kind of when you buy the most, is when you first get into it, you start going crazy. And there's all this like older pieces that are out, and there's new pieces that you pre-order. So a lot of times I think that's what you see. Like, I see you got Hot Toys behind you. You probably spent more on Hot Toys in your first year than you did in all the other years combined. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, without a doubt.
See what I'm saying?
It's mad addicting, this whole collectibles game.
Yeah.
Super addicting. And I have an addictive personality.
Likewise.
Yeah, so when I was into sneakers every weekend, the figures, because I had a whole bunch of like NICA figures and McFarlane figures. I had to get the whole set, and then I wound up not flipping them. I wound up moving them just so I could get the Hot Toys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, which brings me to a point. I know you say let the hobby fund itself. And I remember when you had said that, mad people were hating on that too, and people have like response videos. Like, how do you feel about that?
I never seen a response video, but in that video, I say, hey man, fuck what other collectors say. Do what makes you happy. Collect how you collect. I hate when people tell me in the comments like, oh, I can't believe you sold your statue. You're not a real collector. It's like, yo, so what is that? Because I got to collect the way you collect. How about I just did a big downsize of my collection for the second time, and this room will fill up. And once it starts filling up, I'm like, damn, I'm feeling like claustrophobic, or I'm looking at pieces I've looked at for a year and a half. So I'm ready to sell it, and then I build it back up again. That's just what I do. And I try to explain to people, but it's like, you can't get through to people. I'm like, dude, I have a YouTube channel that it benefits from me constantly putting out content. So it's in my best interest to collect, build it up, sell it off, continue and repeat the cycle. And plus, if that's what I like to do, it's a win-win. So it's hard to like explain the way you make moves to other people that don't make moves the same way you do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, It's like telling like a drug dealer to go to school, and they're like, "What, bitch? I'm getting money. What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, basically. I think it's that these people, like they follow us, especially you. Like you have a huge following. You're working on that 125,000 subscriber thing. I think people just feel like they have a right to have input in what you do just because they watch you on YouTube,
right?
And they're interacting.
That's a good point. And I think about that too. They forget that I'm a person that I just collect, and I'm just showing you what I'm collecting. But they have this idea of what you should be, you know, because they watch you and they feel invested into your collection almost. But it's like, dude, I was staring at Jug for 2 years. Like, I'm done with Juggernaut. Like, let's go. Let's get something else in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then like in that video, like some of those pieces were fire, like the Mortal Kombat, the Pop Culture Shock Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes I look back like, damn, I missed that 1/3 scale of Akuma. That shit was kind of dope. But
that was dope.
Bro, in this statue game, there's more stuff coming out every day. There's new pre-orders every day. It's like you're not missing out on anything, you know. So it's all good. Keep it moving.
Yeah, is there any collectibles out there? As far as like statues, figures, hot toys, and stuff that you just like, yo, why the fuck do people collect that?
Yeah. I don't want to make anyone feel bad, but nah, I mean everyone. I get it though. Like I don't collect hot toys. I personally don't like hot toys. You know what I'm saying? But
you just made me feel bad.
But I could understand that, you know, there's an aspect to it that other people like. You know what I mean? So again, Biggie's "Who Shot You" got the thumbs down. You know what I mean? Like it could be someone's favorite thing, and that's just not something I'm into. I mean, I'm not into a lot of statue lines. Like there's a lot of things I wouldn't personally buy, like an Aliens or a Predator. Like I'm just not really into that much. So that's not something that I would buy. You know?
Damn, that's hilarious. Because my two like grail pieces I have right here, I have the Sideshow, the Alien maquette.
Right.
And then next to it, the Sideshow exclusive Predator maquette that dropped like a long time ago.
There you go. And see, me, I don't really have interest in those. I mean, I've watched the movies, of course, but it wasn't something like as a kid, I was like, oh, I love Alien. Like I was into like Jurassic Park as a kid, but I still wouldn't be out here buying the dinosaur statues. It's just not really my thing.
Some of those dinosaur statues is hot. Like there's one, it's not a Jurassic Park one, but I think the dinosaur fighting King Kong.
Yeah. I think I saw my man Mr. X had that on a video the other day. That one's dope. And yeah, there's good ones from Iron Studios too, like dioramas from Jurassic Park with like the T-Rex and everything, but it's just not something that I would really do. Yeah,
Iron Studios is putting in work. So what's your favorite statue company?
I have my top are Sideshow, XM, Prime One, Iron Studios, and PCS. But I don't really have a favorite because I think each one does something better than the other, right? XM kills it with the low edition size and obscure characters. I think Sideshow, they have like the classiest kind of pieces with like a base that's not too small but not too big, but it tells a story. They have great paint applications. Like I think they nail it. And then Iron Studios, they're doing, first of all, like you said, they're putting in work. They have so many licenses going on, and they're doing the Sentinel dioramas. They're doing quarter scale pieces. And then you got like PCS doing like nostalgia pieces like the Transformers with the cell shading, the TMNT stuff. They're doing all these movie pieces that I wouldn't buy Jean-Claude Van Damme, but it's cool that they're doing it. And then Prime One, man, with the Berserk statues, with the 1/3 scale DC line, they're crushing it, man. So they all do something. Yeah. They all have their strengths, you know what I mean? So that's like my top 5 go-to companies. That's really all I really buy from, to be real.
Yeah. Like for me, obviously the hot toys, and then all the statues I have are Sideshow. I'm such a loyalist to a brand, so even like now I'm wearing like my stupid shirts or whatever, but even like I'll wear the same brand of clothing. Like I'll only wear Nikes. I'll only do Sideshow statues. And then I had bought last year I had bought a Queen Studio life-size Thanos bust from.
Oh, you bought that big ass thing?
Yeah, man. And it was one of those things where I bought it. It took 2 months to get here, and I immediately once the money came out the account, I immediately regretted it. But then when it got here, it was just like, holy shit. And I don't have any room to put it. So it's not even in storage. Like right now, one of the boxes is in my living room that my wife legit gives me the evil eye every day. And then another one is in my daughter's room. And it's like, I'm sorry. So, yeah.
So that's another thing I wouldn't collect. I wouldn't collect the life-size Queen Studios bust with the hair. Like the Wonder Woman and the Harley Quinn. I wouldn't. That's not for me.
Yeah, and
the Thanos is dope, and they got the other one now with the arm and everything. It's like, damn,
that shit is too big because it comes out to like almost 3 feet.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't. I don't even got space for that.
Yeah, unless you have like some sort of mansion or like a Mr. X room.
Yeah, yeah. If you got
like,
a basement or something, like that's why the next crib I get, I gotta have a basement, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah, I'm like right now I'm in this room is pretty tiny. So like right side out of this is just my camera setup, my light, but it's tiny. But my daughter's moving downstairs, and then I'm gonna take her room, but it's not even like, I don't know. I need to get a finished basement. I need to work that out or kick my tenant out from downstairs and just put a display. You on one of your lives you talked about getting a house where you do all your recording and have it like a museum. Is that something that's in the works?
I changed the plan up a little bit, but that's still a possibility. So what I decided to do, because I'm always all about the hobby funding itself, right?
Yeah.
So I got to a level where it could do more than just fund itself. It could fund other things, right? So when I did my first purge, I paid off my truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm sitting around, I'm looking, I'm like, man, if I got rid of like 60% of this, I could pay off the rest of this house. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think what I'm going to do is on the third purge, get a new house, rent this one out, and then just kind of keep on growing the assets like that. Now, do I buy? I don't know. Maybe I do something where I like the idea of a studio. I like the idea of a commercial building where I have like a warehouse that I could deck out and stuff too. But it's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. What would be dope would be like a studio and then rent out studio time to other people, other content creators that are in your vicinity.
Right. There are some.
Yeah, so that you still make that bread. Now, you're in El Paso, Texas, right?
Yeah.
You grew up in Miami?
North of Miami, South Florida, Broward County, like Fort Lauderdale area.
How was now we're going to go into the hard-hitting journalism questions. How was it like growing up out there? And how were you as a kid? Were you like a badass attitude? Like how was Little Gem Mint?
Little Gem Mint. See, when I was younger, man, I grew up with the same friends since we were 6 years old. So we grew up together, went to elementary school, middle school, high school, stuff like that. So we had a tight crew. And growing up in South Florida was like, it was a mix, man. We grew up listening to hip hop. It's a lot of people from up north. I remember when I was in middle school, everybody used to lie and say they were from New York. That was like the cool thing. And then the South started taking over, and Florida started getting its own identity when it's like No Limit Records and Cash Money came out. So streets kind of got like that. And how was it, man? I was into music, man. Into music, smoking weed, like fucking around with my friends. We grew up playing video games and going to movies, and we dabbled in comics. I read more comics than them, but we were always in that pop culture world. Like comics in the 90s was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was all about, man. Just kind of hanging out, shit like that. What regular kids do those ages.
Yeah. Same shit. I was real big I got into comic books. How did you get specifically? Do you remember a point?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I remember it was during elementary school when the 92 Marvel Masterpieces came out, and we were getting the packs of cards. They had like these classic black marble looking packs, and I remember they were all painted. Like Joe Jusko did the whole set, and they looked so realistic, and it looked like I was looking at something like so iconic. Like you looked at Spider-Man, and you're like, holy shit, this looks like fucking artwork, man. This is like it put superheroes on a bigger pedestal in my mind. And on the back of those cards would show like their first appearance, and it would say what issue they first appeared in. So me being like an OCD type of person, I'm like, oh man, I got to read and see what's up with this Sleepwalker character. I got to Cable. What's Cable? Like, so then I went to the local comic shops. I would buy packs of cards. I would look for the comics. And that's when I learned real quick that all those issues aren't cheap that are on the back of those cards. Even back then for a kid, maybe the first appearance was $50. It was like, oh man, my parents will never let me get that. But then I would pick up some trade paperbacks. So I picked up Death of Superman because I knew who Superman was, and it happened to just be the Death of Superman for first appearance of Doomsday. Like that trade paperback was my shit. And Maximum Carnage, and that's when I got into Venom and Carnage and Spider-Man, and then I started kind of following from there, man. And what's funny though, when I went into the comic shop looking for those key issues, like just because I wanted to read about the characters. The thing that I noticed the most on the shelf was Spawn, and I started picking up the Spawn comics, and then the movie came out, and it was like I already knew who it was. So it's kind of like now, right, with the MCU and all this stuff, they're coming out with movies, and your girl doesn't know who it is, but you're like, yo, that's Captain Marvel, da 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 da. So it was like that as a kid, like, yo, I know Spawn. Now there's a movie for this guy, or like, you know, it was just on from there, man.
Yeah. So it was weird for me as a kid. Like, I had the Secret Wars action figures, but I didn't know where they were from. They were just action figures. So I had the Secret Wars action figures, and then we would collect Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Yeah.
So then one day, like, we went to the bodega, and it was the bodega where they sold everything.
Right.
And they were out of Garbage Pail Kids cards, but they had the 1990 Marvel cards.
Yeah, Marvel Universe. Those were sick.
Yeah, so then my mother bought me a pack, and then I was just like, oh shit, this is the guy from my toy. I didn't even have any idea that it was part of a comic book, and that's what got me hooked, was the 1990 set. But definitely that 1992 Marvel Masterpiece set is probably the best set of cards ever.
Yeah.
And I luckily that I completed my set. So I was bored one day, and I had holes in my Marvel Universe Series 3 set. I completed that. I got the whole Series 4, and then I was just like, let me fill the holes in my Marvel Masterpiece. So I filled the holes in that collection right before it blew up.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? How the trading card market is all crazy right now?
I think people are just bored.
Right? A little bit of pandemia, stimulus checks. It's like I think somebody said like a lot of like sneakerheads and sports collectors are in the hobby now because they see the possibilities, right? Yes. But it's the bubble is getting bigger and bigger, man. Like every little thing is collectible now. Like even I do a show with Comic Tom and we report, and people hate on it, but we just report on the sales. People don't realize we report on what has sold. We're not telling you this is going to be hot. But anyway, the previews books that'll start blowing up, and the Marvel previews 95s and Malibu Suns and shit. So it's like everything is a collectible right now.
Yeah, that's like people getting mad at the reporter for reporting the murder.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucked up, man. Like, what do you mean? Yo, just report it. What happened?
Yo,
we be on the video. I'll be like, yo, I would never buy that. I would rather have the Ultimate Fallout 4, the Jevic variant. But hey, you can't deny people are buying this book, and then you see people make like hate posts about us and shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I think it's definitely people just have too much time on their hands. Number one. And then it's like you said, the stimulus thing. And it definitely has to do with other people kind of, I don't want to say infiltrating the community, but coming in just based off pure spec.
New collectors. I mean, you know, we just talked about it in the last video we did. Disney Plus has over 100 million subscribers. And they said Falcon Winter Soldier episode 1 was their most watched episode ever. It like broke a record. So it's like, even if 0.5% of those people start digging into the collectibles hobby, you're bringing in like mad people. So it's, it makes sense with how big, you know, everything's getting. Yeah,
definitely. Like for me, for like prices blowing up, the inflation with just straight up books. Like in the beginning of the year, I made my Grails list video, right? And it's like my number one grail for this year was Giant Size X-Men #1.
It's a bad book to try to get right now.
I know, dude. I feel like so stupid. And I was just like, damn, I knew I should have gotten it in January because of what was going to happen. It almost doubled. So even like a 1.8 or whatever is like 3,000-4,000.
I fucked up. I should have bought the FF1 X-Men 1. I knew all these were going to blow up because even when they made the announcement, with it so far out, it's going to keep on rising and rising until you start to get the trailers, and then it'll taper off, and then once the movie comes out, it'll go down a little bit. And the comment you just had, Lit, was an important factor. The 90s are blowing up because look how old people are who were born in the 90s or grew up in the 90s. We're adults now. We have adult money. We're the market. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you're going to see the 90s nostalgia. That's why books that people said, oh, that has a huge print run, Spawn 1 will never be worth shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, man, the demand's there. And then you got the CGC aspect on whittling down that million print run to, okay, how many 9.8s? How many 9.8 newsstands? How many 9.9s? You know what I mean? And it whittles that ratio down a little bit.
Yeah. You mentioned CGC. How do you feel about CGC? Oh, man. I think somebody just caught a body outside.
They're out there, man.
CGC. How do you feel about like people are complaining about the turnaround times are insane.
Bro, they always been.
But quality control, like people are sending in pictures with hairs, cookie crumb.
Hold on. So CGC won't replace it for the free?
I'm assuming they will.
Of course, man. CGC is the best thing that happened to the comic book market. If it wasn't for CGC, we'd be the 90s crash all over again. But like the things that I just mentioned, they made a legitimate way to do a lot of things. Preserve your books, whittle down high print runs to more collectible aspects, to really give a third-party genuine what's the word I'm looking for? Idea of what something is worth, right? Because if I'm trying to sell you something, I'm like, yo, man, this is near mint, bro. You ain't gonna find a higher grade. Of course, I'm gonna hype it up because it's my book. So now you got the third party. They're humans, sometimes they're a little bit off or not. Someone else is saying, yo, this is what the grade is. Now you two figure it out. Then you have the census, then you have GPA. CGC, like them or not, you can't deny their impact on the hobby. And they gave it breath, man. They gave it life for years to come. They came out, 2001? It's 20 years now.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I thought they were in the game longer. Like for me, like I mentioned before, I'm a brand loyalist. So before I started collecting raws, like my wife got me some slabs for Christmas. Like we were watching down, I think it was on the AMC channel. We were watching the history of comic books. And then when they had the Image episode, I was just like, yo, that was my shit. That was my shit. And then she surprised me with some of those books. So all my slabs after that has been CGC slabs. So even shit that I get in like a mystery box that's like PGX or CBCS, I'd sell it right away. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about CBCS and PGX?
I just don't like. Well, PGX I would never fuck with because I've been in the slab game for a little minute. I've seen all the dirty shit they've done, and it was just a small operation that I don't know if they were just open to too much temptation and cracking resto books and putting them out as universal. I don't want to put any slanderous stuff out there, but I've been along long enough that I wouldn't fuck with them. But CBCS, I can't get with the label. Like to me, the CGC label is the creme de la. It's like the Hennessy label. And then it's like CBCS is like E and J. Like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's the same kind of thing, but too much E and J. Nah. But CBCS is cool people. They reached out to me. Like they did what was necessary for the market. You got to have that balance, that competition, so that CGC can't become tyrants. So that they can't be like, oh, you got a hair in there? Fuck you. Like they can't do that because CBCS will swoop up their customers. So it's a necessary. I don't think that they should have tried to be so close to the CGC's label because it's like, dog, come on, you're trying to be like, they're trying to make it where like, it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
It's not a difference in trying to like swipe some of their customers. Like I feel like CGC is just like WWE. Like no matter what, they're always going to be the top dog.
Right.
But then you got like CBCS, like AEW and whatever these other wrestling indie companies.
But they're getting money too. Like I'm sure they're not mad. I think they know that they're not going to be. I mean, they might want to be. They might have aspirations. Like they have the Beckett deal and everything.
Yeah.
I commend them. They're the only ones that came out that are as reputable. In my opinion, like nobody's going to say CBCS isn't reputable or that there are scams or that they have all these shenanigans going on. It's just for me, what it really boils down to was the aesthetic of the label and the value on the aftermarket. Now, I don't know what they're going for now. I don't really keep check on CBCS slabs, but it's always been that they sold for less in the same book in the same grade as the CGC counterpart. So to me, that was like the biggest deal breaker. Like, okay, why would I even do that?
Yeah, so I think the argument now, and it's not even an argument, part of the discussion is if it's going to be in your PC, go CBCS because the turnaround times are faster, the slab and the label is good enough. But if it's something that you're going to move later on, then you go with CGC.
Wow, see, me, I wouldn't want. I still would rather have the CGC if it was a personal collection. And then the comic vet made a comment: if CGC ever offered a signature verification, they would destroy them. I kind of respect. I've had conversations with them, and they're like, "Yo, we'll never do that because if we haven't seen it, I'm not trusting anyone else to say this is verified." And I respected their stance. Like anything that's CGC signature series will only be witnessed by us, and that's it. And I was like, "Damn, they could have said, damn, CBCS is doing it too. Let's do it, do." But they kind of had like what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. They had like these this more, I don't want to say morals. They had like a morality factor in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, is it really because signatures and shit could be faked?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, why take that chance? And
didn't PGX recently have a scandal like 2 or 3 years ago where they had like all these like they were supposedly drawn by so and so or Liefeld came out and said, or McFarlane said, "Oh, that's not mine." They had a shit recently. I Google it. I don't know. Don't quote me, but there was some shit like that.
Make sure you Google that after the show, folks. The PGX scandal. Yeah, I just want to change gears a little bit. You mentioned hip hop. Who's some of your favorite hip hop artists? Some of your favorite albums? Hit me with that, brother.
Yeah, so I'm just a diehard Bone Thugs and Harmony fan. Like East 99 Eternal, Art of War. That's my shit. That's That's my top, you know, and then I like everything, man. I like New York, I like South music, I like West Coast. Like New York is Biggie for me, Jay-Z. On the South tip, it's like Outkast. We like some obscure people too, like Dirty, good like Goody Mob too, but Field Mob. And on the West, you know, I was a Tupac fan, Snoop fan, Cube, stuff like that. But for me, it was Bone Thugs that gets the most play in my car.
Yeah. I remember. I'm New York bias all day. I'm not. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. But in high school, I had to be. It was like in the 10th grade, first of the month. I learned that shit front and backwards.
That's my shit. That's like that's like my favorite song of all time. First of the month.
Oh wow, that's dope, man. Yeah. So and dudes used to come up to me and be like, "Yo, Danny, Dan. Oh, spoiler alert, my real name is Dan." They used to be like, "Yo, spit the song for me," and I would be like, "Okay, blah blah," and then legit just spit the whole entire song in like the hallway.
Something about that beat. I was like, "Yo, that beat is so unique. Like, there's nothing like that in hip hop then or now." And then their flows, like, you know, I've always been a big fan of like groups that look alike and have the same vibe. Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was all like, I just love that team, and like. That's what I didn't like about like other groups where it's like one guy sounded like this, one guy was fast, one guy was loud. Like I didn't like that. I liked how they all were in sync with each other like that.
Yeah, like disjointed. You don't want them to be disjointed.
And I know all my New York people, they always fuck with Bone just because of that Notorious Thugs. They're like, oh yeah, Bone. Like if it wasn't for that, I don't know if New York would have been feeling him like that.
Nah, like I remember like that first of the month, the joint that they did with Eazy-E.
Yeah.
And then what really put them on was the
Love of Money.
Yeah, hells yeah. What really put them on was the one with the from the Set It Off soundtrack.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives, and then Crossroads. Crossroads is like a universally appreciated song. You know what's funny with Tapia? Like, I'm a
South Park Mexican in jail.
Yeah, South Park Mexican for some crazy shit, but I guess it's not. It's some kind of like we
gotta move that comment. Hold on.
Yeah, but he's not guilty of that shit. Anyway. I studied like XXL magazine, the Source magazine. I would read every single one of them shits for years. I was like a student of hip hop, so I know Tech Nine, South Park Mexican, Murder Dog magazine. I used to read, so I'm familiar with most hip hop up until like 2005, and then I kind of was like, when the mumble rap came in, I couldn't really follow the new shit, and it's hard for me to like listen to some kid that's younger than me, because you know what's funny about hip hop to me. Is that typically you're a young kid and you're listening to some dudes that's like 5-10 years older than you. And it's like you're peeping game. You're getting wisdom from these dudes that are older. So I'm 36. How am I going to listen to some 18-year-old? You can't tell me shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't really get with that.
Yeah. And as obviously I was a DJ and stuff like that. And it was hard, man. So I would hate when people would want to hear like new stuff, even like doing like I wasn't no big DJ in stadiums and shit like that, just a regular mobile DJ. But I would hate to do like a graduation party for like graduating high school. That shit was like torture, because like for me it's about people dancing, you're influencing the movements on the dance floor and all that other stuff, and you're influencing the mood, as opposed to like something where every single song sounds the same and it's just like you're standing there, or it's the equivalent of like jumping on the couch in the club and shit. It's just like I'm one of those old jaded dudes, man. Where it's just like last night I saw on
old heads.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a video of some dude, a group of kids rapping about how they killed all these people. It's like I think from Chicago. I might be wrong, but in the video, legit, it's just like, I killed this BB, and then there's a picture of the dude that. Like insane. I'll send you the video after, like some super crazy shit.
You know what's crazy? Sometimes I think about like we talk about Biggie and I mentioned Tupac. Like them dudes was like early 20s. That's crazy. Like the way that their mindset was compared to like young 20-year-olds now just seems so different. Like they seem like they were so much more mature for their time, man.
Yeah, and I think it was the way we were brought up. Like and I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful to the younger audience. Salute you. But I think it was something the way we were brought up. Like I was 10 years old, chilling in the street till the street lights came on. Like my mother didn't shield me, or my parents didn't shield me from stuff that was going on. Right. I was 10 years old, walking miles to the comic book store, even though I was in comics. We
were out of the house from the moment it got light until it got dark. We were gone, no cell phones. We were just out in the streets all day, every day, and we would just come home at night. I was like, I would never let my kids do that. I have girls though, but still.
Yeah, so I think it's also one of those things where technology plays a big factor because everything is so accessible. So back then it was just like to hear a song, you would have to sit by the radio until that song came
Bro,
on.
I would do that for Crossroads when it first came out. I was like, yo, I gotta hear that song because I was already a fan. I was like, I gotta hear. And my album had a different version of it because they did a remix, and then the one that blew up was the remix. So I would sit by the radio, or we would have like BET and MTV like wait for the first of the month video to come on just to catch that shit.
Yeah, it was funny because with BET, like I would stay BET and listening to music and the videos and shit. And my dad hated rap music, so he came home from work at like 4:15, and I had to shut the TV off and then pretend that I was doing something else. And he would legit come and put his hand on the TV to see if it was hot. Hater.
Yeah, I remember we used to live in an apartment, and we would go to the clubhouse, like the center area where they had like. Whatever, and because they would have like a lounge area, and we would play like Coolio Gangsta's Paradise came out before it was whack, when it was hard. And they would be like, no gangster raps allowed in the clubhouse, and we're like, damn, you can't even play music. And it was crazy, man. That's when it was early 90s vibe.
Yeah, me and my boy, it's funny because he's in the chat. I'm missing his thing. Fix Wizzy. This is back in the Dizzy high school. We did a talent show, so we did like a little rap at the talent show, and we had to get it screened of what we were gonna do. So we had to do like a happy-go-lucky type shit.
Y'all was in the Kid and Plays vibe, man.
Nah, we did a rap to Money More Problems. But
okay.
Couldn't go hard because it was just like
that song was huge. Though. I used to love that song. I used to love watching The Box. The Box would play all that. More Money, More Problems was out during that time. Freaking Will Smith, Men in Black. I liked that Men in Black song was hard, man. I didn't give a damn. It was Will Smith.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever heard that song.
You never heard Will Smith Men in Black?
I know what it is,
bro. Here come the Men in Black.
I never heard the whole thing in its entirety. I don't know. It was something like that. It's just weird because it was just like, oh, that's Will Smith. That shit is whack.
See, I never understood the Will Smith is whack thing because I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is like in my top 5 sitcoms of all time. And that's funny. I think someone said, remember the Box, like right at the same time I said it. I always liked Fresh Prince, but I knew who he was. He wasn't trying to be street or a gangster, but I liked him, man. I liked his swag. And I like when he did the music, I just was like, oh, check out Will. I didn't look at it the same as I looked at like Biggie, but I still rocked with him though.
Yeah, so this is my man Fix Wizzy. You Ghost wrote my verse. That's 100% facts. This was in 1998. That shit is dope. That's a good idea. Like to put together a Spotify playlist for like.
I got a few playlists. I got crazy. I got the alt rock playlist with my Nirvana and all the 90s alt rock. Then I got like the down south mix, the New York mix. I got the Bone Thugs mix. I got a few Spotify playlists.
All right, cool. Let's switch gears. Movies.
Nice segue.
That's literally my only segue I know how to do. I think I did it
switch right? Stating aloud that we'll switch gears. Got you.
What are some of like your favorite movies and stuff?
I got genres, man. You got my favorite. I love gangster movies. I love like mafia movies. I love superhero movies. I like comedies. So I can't even pick a top list. It's got to be like, okay, what's my top 5 gangster movies? Goodfellas, Casino, Bronx Tale, New Jack City, shit like that, right? Then it's like, okay, comedies. I like shit like Biodome. I like them dumbass 90s comedies like that. You know what I'm saying? The Half Baked.
Samson.
Yeah, I want to talk to Samson. And then superhero movies. I love Iron Man, First Avengers. I love Infinity War, Spider-Man 2. Like I got lists, man. I got lists for genres for you.
Superhero movies. What were some of your favorite like moments from a superhero movie? And like what was your reaction when you saw that in the theater?
I liked the Avengers one where they finally all came together. Oh no, when Hulk first hulked out, because you were like, he can't control it. So when he was like, "That's my secret. I'm always angry," and he changed, it was like, what? How did he do that? That was huge. When the Avengers first mounted up, that was huge. There's a lot of when Iron Man at the end was like, "Nah, fuck that. I am Iron Man." Like, yo, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Like, how are you gonna be like Clark Kent? Like, oh, Superman's a great guy. He was like, "Nah, I am Iron Man." Man, in Infinity War, when they killed everybody, I couldn't believe it. When he snapped, I was like, "Yo, everything's quiet." Like my heart was racing. Like that was crazy.
The silence right, from the audience when that happened.
I don't remember the audience. You know, I've seen videos, audience reaction, and I was like to the next one where Cap picks up the hammer. That was dope as hell too. I feel like the audience was hyped during that one.
That is my favorite like superhero movie moment when Cap picked up the hammer, dude. Like I was already overwhelmed by everything that was going on, and yo, real shit. Like I'm there, and I was just like, yo, I started crying.
I feel like I was saying, I think I said the same thing that Thor's. I think I was like, I knew it. And then Thor said, I knew it. And I was like, they know how to write these shits because I said this shit before you even said it. But to me, I think Banner turning into Hulk, I think that's got to be like up there as top 3. I can't think of anything else right now that I thought was as epic as boom and destroying the undestroyable thing at the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, that was definitely dope, especially when he was played for laughs the majority of the movie, and then like the movie because once he turned into Hulk, then after that it was just his movie to the end, so they stopped Loki.
Yeah, and then Dale of Suspense. That's what I was gonna say. When Thanos snapped, I think my theater everyone was silent. We were just
quiet. That shit was crazy.
He said, when he slapped. Oh, he's talking about. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about when he snapped at the end.
No, it was like when he snapped Loki's neck, which was crazy because then that right there established that this is not going to be a typical MCU movie.
Yeah,
like somebody got killed in the first 5 minutes,
and then that's right after he served Hulk up too. Yeah, it started off serious. That whole Infinity War, man, that was dope. And I know I'm not mentioning any DC movies. I mean, definitely like Dark Knight was amazing. The Heath Ledger Joker stuff was incredible. What else? I grew up on DC movies. I grew up with the 4 Batman movies. That was my go-to, like from Batman to Batman Forever or Batman and Robin.
Like I enjoyed the first Batman. Batman Returns was a little hokey. Batman Forever, I saw it in the theater. That was probably the first movie I ever fell asleep on. And I don't think I've watched Batman and Robin in its entirety. Like I've seen the whole thing in pieces, but I've seen
that whole thing multiple times. I think Batman Returns was what I grew up with, and then I went back and watched Batman, and I was like, okay, it wasn't as flashy as it, and I didn't like it as much. Like I liked obviously Catwoman and Penguin, and I liked Batman Returns a lot, but the other two I still liked them. Like that's all we had, though. You know what I mean? Like we didn't really know, this was whack. It was just kind of like, they went goofy with this one. Got it.
For me, it was Ninja Turtles. So the 1990 Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
To me, that's.
So you must be like a year or two older than me, man.
Nah, I'm old, son. I'm 41.
Yeah, okay. So you're old. Yeah, I knew you were older than me because I grew up on the second Ninja Turtles and I had to go back and watch the first one. And I liked the second one better because me as a kid, Toka and Razor and just like the comedy stuff was amped up a little bit. But I still love those first 2 movies. I still haven't sat through the third one. I hate the third one. It's whack as hell, man.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever sat through the third one. For me, like that Ninja Turtles, because I remember when it was coming out, there was so much. That's the first movie that I remember that there was crazy brand placement. So on the like on the pork rinds package, there was like turtles, turtle pie, turtle this, turtle that. And then we went to see it. It came out. I went to see it. It was like Easter weekend. And I remember like when it was Easter break in school, they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like telling everybody, "Yo, I'm gonna go see Ninja Turtles." Like that was the biggest thing to me back then.
Yeah,
when going seeing that Ninja Turtles, man.
I was huge into the cartoon and the toys, man.
Yeah, I had all the toys, and it's funny. I mentioned this the other day. I had all the toys, and legit, them just disappeared. I had like 10 figures. I don't want to say all the toys, and they disappeared overnight. And
yeah, I think my parents just sold them one day when they did like a clean out, and they don't even tell you. So your mom probably just sold them on you, or donated them or some shit.
Oh, they pawned it
or some shit. Yeah.
Yo, so real quick, Gem, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about the Red Sonja cover.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure, man. We're crowdfunding an exclusive variant cover. It's for Invincible Red Sonja #1. It's a new series by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. Husband and wife duo are both writing it. And my daughter, my 16-year-old daughter, Jade, she drew the cover. And it's our second exclusive. Our first one is this Vampirella one right here. And she's holding a gem. Yeah, so this is the old campaign.
Yeah.
So the new one, Red Sonja's got a gem on the hilt of her sword. You can see it if you you can see the gem there.
Yeah.
So the campaign is more than halfway over. Basically, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Indiegogo. It's just like Kickstarter. You can get the regular covers $20. You could get the virgin variant, that's 20. You could get a black and white, that's 20, or you could get all three for 50. There's CGC 9.8 options, signature series where she's going to sign them and we're going to send them to CGC. It'll get a yellow label 9.8. She's doing remarks on raw copies, and we have like there's a metal cover they do. Personally, I don't recommend it. It seems kind of cheap for like $100, so don't even get the metal cover. But yeah, man, support the channel. It's my daughter's first published artwork in the comic book industry. Even though I kind of cheated to make it happen by making it a Gem Mint exclusive cover, but she's super talented. Like, I knew she was going to be talented because she draws it the way you're supposed to. Like, she'll make the sphere with the lines and the shapes, and then she'll trace it out and like not trace it out. Then she'll, you know what I'm saying? She'll work it out like that. So I actually released a time lapse video on my channel because she does it on her iPad. She could do traditional as well. She a lot of times will sketch it on paper and take a picture with her iPad and then ink it like that. But in the program, it saves like every little stroke you do. So we have a time lapse video, and yeah, man, it's a huge support to the channels, support to my daughter. We were just talking today, like how are we gonna break you off? I got to figure out how much we're gonna make, and then we'll figure out how much you earned. You know what I'm saying? And how many books you got to sign and remark, because people have already been committing to those. So
that's crazy. And as a father, how proud are you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can really express. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I knew she was talented enough to do it. So the big test for me was Dynamite being like, Gem, I don't really think she's ready yet. You know what I'm saying? But they were like, yo, that's dope. Let's run. So I was like, yes, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew my daughter, Jade, is like a little version of me. And then my other daughter, Megan, who's super talented as well, is more like my wife, Fee. So me and Jay are super cocky. Like, we think we're the shit. Like, so it's almost weird saying I don't feel proud. I feel like, yeah, I knew you could do that shit. I knew, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel, like, hype about it. Like, I knew she had it, and she knocked it out, man. I did cry. She finally texted me the final picture, and I was like, oh, shit. Something's in my eye. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. It's super dope. I want, but what's funny is like she's not like the aspiring artist that all I want to do is be a comic artist. She's like, man, I'm not trying to draw this shit. And I'll be like, come on, babe, you're dope, do it. And she'll be like, all right, fine. You know what I mean? Like she's not even into it. You know what I mean? So I was hoping that this would kind of get her that bug to be like, all right, let me try now. Let me like really try to make make a name for myself. But the thing was with my kids, man, I kind of spoil them. They're not really hungry. It's not like they're like broke. Like me as a kid, I'd have been like, yo, how can I get this bread so I could buy this first appearance of whatever? They already got everything. So it's like they ain't really hungry, man.
Yeah. I feel that. The same thing like with my daughter. Like, I'm super proud of my daughter. So I could imagine like something like that, especially like being like what you're into. Like,
right.
The things like that. So my daughter's 22. She graduated college early. Right now she's going for her master's. And I'm super proud of her, and it's just crazy that's what she's doing, and I'm super happy. But to have, I don't want to say I wish she was doing something like in the hobby, but to know like if she was doing something in the hobby, that would be even sweeter, or that icing on the cake, something that you could like bond over. So for me, that's awesome. And then I just want to go back to the screenshot of the campaign. I took this shit a long time ago.
Oh yeah. We're a little further. I think we're at like 106 backers.
And what's the dollar amount?
We're at like 8,800.
Wow, that's dope. I missed the boat on the Vampirella, and I was able to get it on the second round.
Yeah, so good. That's a good point, because Vampirella, like when the campaign's over, that's it. But when Dynamite goes to print, they don't print the exact number of comics that were ordered. They have to overprint for damages or whatever. So you can still pick up this Vampirella. I think only raw copies are available though on that campaign as well.
Yeah, I was looking. Yeah, it's just funny how when you put it out and it was like you could get the Vampirella if you missed it. I was looking on eBay for it. It wasn't on eBay. Like I was just like, fuck.
I'm surprised because as many subscribers you have, it's like it's really hard to reach all of your subscribers. Like even like only 100 backers from like 115,000 subscribers. It's crazy. Like how it's like it's still hard. Even when you have subscribers don't mean shit, bro. Like even right now, there's a big algorithm change that happened in March. I'm struggling with the views. So it's like YouTube always keeps you on your toes because they're trying to get more people to find the type of videos that they think they want to watch. It's like, damn, dog, how about just let my people who subscribed see the videos I'm putting out, but it's whatever, man. All we can do is do what we do to the best of our abilities, and you know, hope for the best. So
no, definitely. Yeah, I heard you mention that about the algorithm, and I was just like, what the hell? I think not that I get like a million views anyway, but it did take a hit. So I went from like let's say 400 views on certain videos, and went down to like 2 something, and I was just like,
I don't know. It's weird. They changed something with the tags or something, or the tags don't matter anymore. You got to write a book in the description and try to have all keywords in there. It's like some fucking bullshit. It's like, yo, how about you just let the subscribers see it, and then we'll just call it a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's just so much that goes into it. Because it's like with the tags, that's fine. With the description, for me, it's short and sweet. Today, I'm opening this box, and
you got to write a book, man. You got to be like, I'm opening up a box from Comic Tom 101, and there might be comics from Marvel Comics and DC Comics that have characters like Spider-Man and Superman. And did you watch Snyderverse? Like, it's like that's what they want you to do to kind of like get your shit recommended to people. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm gonna do one of my terrible segues.
Let's go on to the next. Switch gears, right?
No, because I wanted to wrap it up at 10 to just like stick it to an hour, but I wanted to talk about the Gem versus Jim stuff and skits. Like how did that come up? And before I give you the chance, I'm gonna roll a clip. Roll the clip.
Roll. I hate this guy, Gem Mint. Come on. Come on. Hey, sorry, Jim, I didn't hear you. I was laying cozy in bed, drinking some hot cocoa. Is it cold out enough there for you? Oh, hey, Jim. Well, I can't feel my toes, but everything else is okay. All right, man. You have a great weekend. Take it easy. All right, have a great day. I think that's one of my favorite ones.
Yo, legit, that's my favorite one. And because I've done shit like that, like the UPS guy will ring the bell and it'll be raining, and for some reason I'll just be like, oh, it's raining.
No hurry.
Yeah, like clearly he knows it's raining. I don't know. I'll just say some stupid shit, but that's funny. What made you try to get into the skits and stuff?
Bam Collectibles made me do it. So Bam Collectibles is a channel that's kind of like mine, but he does all anime statues. And he people like to think that my channel grew fast. He's bigger than me, and he got there in less than half the time. Like, he figured it out. And he has a character that he does where it's Boss Bam. It's like his boss, and he's kind of an asshole to him, and he's like the good guy. So I kind of like that idea. I was like, damn, I could probably do something like that. And then I was trying to think, okay, what kind of characters can I have? What kind of skits can I do? And it was his advice, but it also made sense. Like, yo, demand more from your content creators, man. Like, we should be entertaining people and doing more to kind of like switch it up and everything, and not have every intro be me with a box saying, hey, it's your boy Gem Mint. Like, maybe they click it and it's a fucking skit they've never seen. It's just different shit. So anyway, I was like, yo, my UPS guy must hate me, man. He's gotta hate me because I have big statue boxes coming every day, and like I have these big boxes, all these big books and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
not heavy, hell yeah.
I was like, he gotta hate me. And then I was like, oh, okay, what if it's like, what if I became the mailman? And then I was like, oh shit, Fee collects patches. I know you got a USPS patch. She was like, hell yeah, I do. And I was like, okay, let me grab a Dickie shirt, so stitch it on there. And then I was just like, okay, in real life, you're not going to be an asshole to the customer. So the delivery guy is going to hate Gem, but he's going to be nice to him because he doesn't want to lose his job. And then I play an even bigger asshole just to kind of, you know, live it up, amp it up a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, no, that was bad funny. That, and then the one with the for the alien statue.
Yeah,
when you were in bed. That shit was bad funny.
That shit just comes to me, man. And I've been so busy lately, I haven't been able to keep up with the skits. But I'm working on a plan. Like I said, this whole paying off this crib. The whole point is so that I can do this full time, and then y'all gonna get the best me. I'm gonna be reading more. I'm gonna be more creative with my shit, and I'm just gonna put so much more time into it. But what's crazy is like with the selling, it's taking over everything. It's like, yo, I'm so behind. Like, I didn't even put out a video the other day. Like I put out a video every day for years. Yeah, and I didn't put out a video out the other day. Like I just been super behind. But once I get past this little hurdle, like I'm pretty much there. By June 1st is my plan that I should be doing this shit full time. And I'm going hard right now. Yo, I'm downsizing. I'm selling books, selling some statues, just coming up with a little bit more bread to do this plan.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw on IG that you're selling a bunch of books.
Right. So
you added some statues today, right?
Yeah, I really only have like 2 statues that I really want to sell. And the thing, I look at it like this. Okay, I got the Maju cases downstairs. It's all Berserk except for this Batman and Superman. So I'm like, you know what? I've enjoyed Batman and Superman enough. Let's sell those, and we'll make that Maju case. The whole thing will be Berserk. Yeah. I'll rearrange it. It'll look real nice. I'll sell those pieces. And then the books thing was kind of like, I've read most of these books. I probably wouldn't read Walking Dead again. You know what I mean? I always look at it like with the collection, like this stuff, you could always get it back. You know what I mean? I would rather pay off my house and then later on the line grab the Walking Dead, or they probably will have the color omnibus out by then. You know what I mean? So that's just how I look at it. I'm super close to my goal though. I'm definitely gonna hit it, and it's gonna be crazy, man.
Nah, that's dope, man. It's always good to have goals, and it's like that's why I tell my daughter. She has a vision board. It's always good to have goals. Set it in stone. Write it down. Put it on your board, and then strive.
I was gonna make a video for that. You need to have a long-term goal that's kind of crazy, but kind of can happen, and then all these little short-term goals to help you get there. So me was like, pay off your house. Okay, that's kind of crazy, but I think you can kind of do it. Do these different phases. Phase 1, you need a boom. Phase 2, then that. You know what I mean? So I'm on the last phase, and then like that's it. Then I got to come up with a new goal. My new goal is, you got to get another crib within a year. Within a year, I want to put a down payment on the house and probably rent it, or start getting into that and start opening up them different streams. I had to cut off a lot of streams of income to really be like legit with this shit, because I had an online store, I had the raffle game going on, I had a custom statues I was making, so I had to X out 3 decent streams of income to be like, okay, let me be legit. I don't want people coming after me for this or that, so I got to get them streams back up, man.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. And Jimmy, so big shout out to Jimmy from Small Town Collectibles. And you were on his show like early when he was doing it. I think he had like 100 subscribers. So, and then we'll just cap it at this. How important is it for you to be, I don't want to say attainable, is that the right word, or just for people to reach out to you and talk to you, and you're not like discriminating against this dude only got like 100 subs. What's the point of me going on his show?
I don't know. I don't look at it like it being important or not. I just would never put somebody down like that. Like it's happened to me before, man. I had someone tell me to my face. They were like, "Yo, we only really do that shit for like boogie type of YouTubers," and I'm like, "Oh, so I'm not shit? Okay, well, fuck you." You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I would never, as a human, you know what I mean? And then I always look at it like, "Yo, if Small Town got 100 subscribers, man, I might scoop 15 up." You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like, I don't know. I just look at it like how I would want to be treated, and I like to, pass the knowledge on. I've never turned somebody. One time I had to tell a guy, I didn't turn him down, but I'm like, dude, I'm like so busy this week, I can't do it this week. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he ever reached out again. Maybe he feels bad. I think about that to this day, that I didn't go on that one dude's stream. So put it like that.
Yeah. So, dude, if you're watching, hit Gem up. He's free.
Yeah, I think I got on Small Town for the last cover because I was like, yo, let me do a press run. Let me and I put out like a post on IG like, yo, if anyone wants to come on, holler at me so I could promote this cover. I didn't do it this time. I don't know. I kind of felt like, damn, how the fuck I can't get my own people to buy it? Like, I'm gonna jump onto someone else's channel to get their people to buy it. You know what I mean?
But it's the same thing. Like when rappers and shit, like they'll have 1 million YouTube, 1 million IG followers, but then their album will break.
Yeah, and that's the algorithm too for IG. I have like 30,000 on there. If a picture gets 2,000 likes, that's a lot. It's like, damn, how the fuck, man?
Yeah, I'm super new to IG. Like I started my IG just to promote the channel when I created the channel, because it was just like everybody was like, yo, you need to promote. If you're gonna do this, like really put your foot in it, you need to promote. And I was just like, it's just an extra thing to do. You
got to put your content in front of the eyes of people that actually watch it,
Yeah, definitely. So, Gem, we're coming at it is 10 o'clock. Again, I want to thank you. Like I said before in the opening of this, you are the big homie for me. You're the bar. And I'm super excited that you were on the first episode of In the Mix. Any last words that you want to share with the audience?
Nah, man, just appreciate you guys watching. Everybody rocking with DJ Linx. Anybody who watches me, that's the biggest support you could do. I know we might ask you to buy a variant or something, but watching is the biggest thing. And if you guys want to really help out content creators, if you really rock with DJ Linx or Gem Mint, anytime you see the new video, click it and try to watch as much of it as possible. Click-through rate and audience retention are the two biggest things that will determine whether or not YouTube will promote the video or recommend it to others. So if you really like a content creator, try to do that. Try to watch their video within the first hour from its release. So notification bells are important, and watch the whole thing. Put that shit on mute and go make breakfast. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But like that's what you got to do to support. Like my homie Bam, he'll tell me, he's like, yo, I clicked your shit just because of the algorithm, but I don't really care about that statue. I'm like, yo, that's what's up, man. You know what I mean? Like that's how we got to support each other, you know?
That's dope. I have my phone is always watching a video. I have it in my pocket. Sometimes I'm not watching it, but it'll be on and I can hear it. Like I'm making my oatmeal in the morning and shit, and it's always in my pocket. But again, Jim, I want to thank you, man. Like I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. I hope you get bigger than me one day, so then I can ask you for a favor, and then that's how it goes, man. We all lift each other up.
I got you, homie. Chat. As always, thank you, and until next time.